Hello, this is Zippi Livne, nurse and certified food addiction counselor. Welcome to Zippi Live, my weekly live on Facebook, where every week I bring up a different subject to help you if you really want to live sugar-free or really significantly limit the amount of sugar and flour in your life. So today I want to talk about a question that a woman who I'm going to call in order to protect her privacy, I'm going to call her Tali from Tel Aviv. So Tali from Tel Aviv sent me a question, and she sent me a question that a lot of people ask me, whether it be in phone conversations that we have or on WhatsApps or in emails. And the question is, they all say to me, Zippi, I know how to lose weight, but how do I maintain that weight loss? How do I keep off the weight I lost for long term and not just for 6 months or 1 year or something like that? And I think that really is what I call the million calorie question. Is, it's like I once met this guy who stopped smoking. He said, I'm an expert at quitting smoking. The problem isn't to quit. The problem isn't to lose weight. Well, some people have a problem even with that, but many people do manage to lose weight, but their problem is keeping it off. One of the biggest obstacles to maintaining weight loss is the diet mentality, which means basically people see the weight loss as a project that needs to be done. And once the project is over, we'll move on to the next project. But it doesn't work that way, especially people who are struggling with overweight. That's bothering them. They see it as something that they don't want. They want to lose weight. They want to eat healthy. And it's something that they're struggling with for many years. I'm not talking about, there are some people who, let's say, especially like women, who after menopause gain a little weight and they want to lose those extra 5 or 10 pounds, or those extra 3 or 5 kilos that sort of got added on after menopause. But basically they eat healthy. And maybe it's just a matter of limiting amounts a little bit. And sometimes it's just a matter of being comfortable in a body that's a little bit different than what you were used to before menopause. But here's the thing. People, and especially women, but people in general who struggle with obesity or with being really overweight and have lost weight a number of times but have gained it back, usually it's a sign that they are more sensitive to that addictive pull to the unhealthy, sugary, starchy, hyperprocessed foods. And in order to really maintain weight loss, you really have to let go of that idea that, maybe you can eat them in moderation, or what moderation is, or that you'll be able to go back to what you were just with more control once this project of losing weight is over. It doesn't work that way. In order to maintain that weight loss, you really have to change your mindset. You have to change your whole attitude and idea about what it means good food, what is tasty, what is right for me, what I am willing to let go of for the rest of my life, or, really let go of these preconceptions that I need to be able to eat everything in moderation. And then what's moderation? There is no moderation in the way we eat today. Let's face it, more than over 50% of the adult population is overweight or obese. So that means that the way that the normal way to eat today is abnormal. It's very important to understand that today, in our nutritional environment that we live in, and in the food culture that has overtaken the world, which is the hyper-processed food culture, where there is no such thing as having a day without cakes and cookies and all this like hyper yummy, hyper addictive, hyper harmful foods in front of your face 24/7. And it's very, very important to understand that it's really such a small amount for us to eat. If we go over that really, really, really small amount, chances are you gain weight. And if it's somebody who's been overweight or obese before, then that tendency to gain weight back is much, much more than people who have been slim all their lives. They can allow themselves to eat more and not regain the weight versus people who are overweight or obese. So it's very important to understand that this is a lifelong journey. This is a lifelong change. It's really to change your relationship and the way you look at food. What does that mean to, to give myself a treat? And really to move away from this, like looking for entertainment, like food is either entertainment and pleasure or deprivation. Whereas eating real food, food that doesn't need a food label, and understanding that these treats are not good. We're not treating ourselves. What we're doing is we're making our bodies into these garbage receptacles because we eat so much junk. So letting go of, allowing yourself and depriving yourself is the language of diet mentality. And eating in a way that nourishes my body and my soul. That, and eating that way for the rest of my life. That is the mindset that's needed. Now, it's not something that sometimes we need help doing that. That's where professionals like me come in. I help people get to that place. But it's also very, very important to understand that when you're changing the way of thinking, the way you do things in a very significant way, this is something that takes a lot of practice. It's not something that you can do with like some machine or crystals or injections or pills, and that's it. Like the magic's going to happen. Even if you use those things as, let's say, a crutch to get into that mode, right, of weight loss, that's okay. That's cool. I mean, I think there's some people who maybe can take medication, like weight loss medication, as like to get them into that mode of weight loss. But you have to understand that in order to maintain it long term, it really is sometimes many people need a support system that's for a long time. It's very important to understand that it means completely changing the way you do things, the way you think about things. Meal preparation, making sure you always have the foods that you need available for you. Going shopping, making this a priority in your life. This is something that doesn't come just because you decided that's what needs to be. This is something that takes a lot of practice. And there's good days and there's bad days, and it's just staying the path and understanding that this isn't a project that is going to finish. This is your life. And this is putting yourself first and your health first and making your priorities, your self-love, your number one priority. And the way to love yourself first is to eat the foods that nourish your body and soul. So, and many people, in order to make those changes and to make those behavioral changes and the changes in the action, it's not enough to want it. It's not enough to know what you're supposed to do. It's a matter of practice, practicing, and doing, especially in the first year, lots of stuff that you don't feel like doing and doing it anyway. And that's what makes it into a mindset change. That's what makes it into a new way of life. And that is the way to maintain weight loss long term, to see it as new actions that you will be doing for the rest of your life. Whether you do them, you will probably screw up sometimes, and so you'll probably make mistakes a lot of times, but it's a matter of really seeing it as a new way of life. And many people who are successful at this, what they do is they find a way to support themselves from outside, not just they with themselves, but to support themselves with that new way of life. Whether it be a program to kickstart the process, but also a long-term maintenance program to do it. For example, 12-step support groups, or there's support groups online. And very soon there will be I will have some notifications about that, but I'm going to keep you guys curious in the meantime. So Tali from Tel Aviv, which of course represents all these women who have asked me, Zippi, how do you make this into a lifelong change? How do I maintain weight loss rather than just losing the weight? This is my answer to you. You really, really have to let go of these preconceptions that weight loss is some project that has a beginning and an end. But it's really to make that change and action, 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 action that just repeats itself over and over and over again, doing things differently and not lapsing back into the same way we are used to, that automatic, right? It really is a matter of being consciously changing the way I'm used to doing things and making a new way out of it, a new life. And what I can say is that the rewards so outweigh, the effort that's put into it, but it really is important to see it as a lifelong change. So this is if you like this video, please give it a like, and you can share it if you think that this is an important message for a friend of yours to hear. If you're seeing this on my YouTube channel, subscribe and press that notification button. And then every time that my Zippi live comes up, you will be notified. And I have a very important message for you guys, that the time and day of Zippi live is changing. And now it's been on Sundays at 2 p.m. Israel time. We are changing the time of the GPS of the live, Zippi live, to Tuesdays at 4:30 p.m. So next week I will see you guys Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. live on Facebook, or you can always watch the recording here on my page, GPS to Sugar Free, Zippi Livne, or you can watch it on my YouTube channel, Zippi Livne, GPS to Sugar Free. And I will see you guys next week. In the meantime, have a great day, a wonderful week. Love you guys. Bye-bye.